Hi, I'm Troy.
And I'm Anna.
And you're watching The Tony Pruitt Show, unless you're listening to it.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to The Tony Pruitt Show. Today we have two special guests, Anna, Troy Shaw from Waco, Texas. I want you to tell us a little bit about your project here in a minute. But it's been a while since we've had a show on The Tony Pruitt Show, so y'all are making a great comeback for us. I can't wait to do this with you guys. But tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Well, I'm originally from France, came to Baylor as a graduate student, met Troy, got married 20 plus years ago, and we have 3 children.
3 beautiful children.
3 beautiful children.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'm Troy, and I'm married to her.
That's really all you need to know,
That's
right?
really all you need to know.
So tell me about, y'all made a documentary about the legendary guitarist David Zychek, allegedly from Waco, Texas. Let's start with that. He's really not from Waco, is he?
No, he was born in Mississippi on an Air Force base and then moved to Houston. And when he was in high school, his family relocated to Buckholt, Texas. Buckholt. Yeah, Buckholt or Buckholt.
Yeah.
And after he graduated from high school, he moved to the Central Texas area, Waco, Temple, etc. So he would be part of different bands, and that's how people came to know him.
Oh, he was unbelievable. So what was your relationship? What was y'all's relationship with David?
Well, I met David probably 97, 98 because I had a band and we were looking for a studio to record at, and it just kind of timed out that he had started working with Ronnie Griffin. He was running his studio out there in China Spring, and so that's when I first met David. Ended up recording like 4 albums out there. I did some websites for him.
Did he play on your album?
No, I never.
Okay.
No, well, I recorded one song actually probably a year or so before he passed away. Because I would just record some stuff at home for fun. And I had a song that I sent to him. I said, hey, at the 2.5 minute mark to the whatever mark, could you lay down a blistering lead solo? And that's what he did. So
Okay.
I do have a song that I wrote that he played on, so that's kind of cool.
That
But
is cool.
I never played with him live. I think we might have opened for him a few times. I think, oh yeah, we did Jim's Cycle Shop. Remember that?
I remember that.
That was crazy.
Yeah.
So there was a lot of bands. It was like a kind of an all-day festival sort of a deal, and David Zychek was the headlining band, and we played early during the day. But
So you had a good relationship with him.
yeah, and we were friends with him. We'd see him play all the time. And then I guess around 2011, somewhere around there, he was working with Deborah Jones, who's from London, recording some songs, and he wanted us to do some music videos for him and her at that time. So I think we produced 4 or 5 different music videos over the span of, 3 years or so, something like that. So yeah, we there was probably 5 years we he'd come over for dinner sometimes. We'd go out to dinner with him.
Oh, you broke bread with him.
Yeah, we'd go
So,
see him play,
hey.
and so yeah, we became pretty good friends with David over the past.
So what an awesome tribute y'all have done for him. This is really phenomenal. So who's the brains behind this project?
Me.
Well,
It would be her, obviously. So you had a vision for this, right?
Yeah, so the idea came
Yeah,
from...
take us through that.
Yeah, the idea came from after David passed away early 2016. It was difficult for all of us, all his friends, and Troy. So I had the idea to kind of channel that grief into something productive, constructive.
Positive.
Yeah. And we were talking one time, and I remember where we were. We're in the car talking, and I had the idea of, how about, we're trying to tell his story. And at the time, I did not know, obviously, where it was going to take us. I knew I wanted to do some kind of documentary and we had footage, and we knew his friends here locally. And it actually turned out to be something so much more. And it's a project that took us...
It just kept going.
Kept growing. We traveled across the U.S., and then we interviewed a lot of people that he had crossed paths over the years, and people who have made a career in the music business. And so it just kind of grew from there. So, and it turned out.
yeah,
to
we had
be
no idea it was
okay.
going to take us where it did, because originally we were like, well, we'll interview some local people, be a
Yeah.
documentary we can probably put on YouTube or something. But then it just kind of, one person led us to another person, which led us to another person. Then we end up, interviewing like Ted Nugent, and there's a couple of guys from Night Ranger, and Beau Hill, who produced, some of the legendary albums of the hair metal of the 80s.
Did you ever just pinch yourself and go, I can't believe this is happening?
It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Crazy.
remember we were at Beau Hill's house in Austin, and I remember Troy having that weird moment where he remembered buying an album and reading the cover of the CD and
Well, I never,
seeing Beau Hill's name.
And you were there.
Yeah, we're at his house.
Yeah, I said, man,
That's surreal.
Because I remember the cassettes, because he produced all of the Rat albums in the 80s.
Yeah,
And I loved Rat.
Yeah.
And I remember the cassettes, and it'd always say, produced by Beau Hill.
Round and round.
Yeah, and I'd be like, you're the guy.
You're the guy, and
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And I'd be like, how did you record Stephen Pearcy's vocals? And he told me how he did it, which was really cool.
Because you're into that.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. I love music production.
so that's my next
My
question.
first love is probably music and music production. Video sort of.
So what's your
it's a
background? What's your
byproduct of that.
background in music?
Well, I had a drum set. My mom got me a drum set when I was like 14. I had my first band at 15, playing.
Garage band.
Yeah, we
Having
weren't very
fun.
good. We weren't very good, but we had fun. We didn't have a singer. We kind of make up our own songs because we weren't good enough to, play anybody else's songs. So
Yeah, sure.
So we just kind of play and. We had a few gigs here and there, but all through the '90s I had a band, and then early 2000s had another band. So, and me and my brother have always played together. I was always the guitar player and the singer, and my brother was the drummer, and we'd always kind of get different bass players throughout the years. So, music is my love for sure.
Right.
And
So you enjoyed doing this documentary just as much as her, probably.
I mean, I still get chills when we watch it and seeing some of the clips.
But
of
where did you
David.
get the video? Do you have video? I've seen the documentary. I'm going to be there. But do you have video footage of David's playing?
Oh yeah.
But did you? Where'd you get that at? I mean, did you have it personally, or
Well, we had some
because you can look it up on YouTube.
We got some of it off YouTube from. Of course, we asked for permission from the people that we got it from.
Right.
But we have some just from the recent years that I've gone to a show and videoed with my phone and stuff. And then
A lot of people gave us footage and pictures.
gave Johnny Big, who's in the documentary. He gave us some footage from like the early '80s. San and Margie Davis gave us some video clips from Waterworks and Stuff You Call and stuff. So I mean, we just kind of
Waterworks here?
Yeah.
The one that burnt the. Oh wow!
that was the place to play back in the day.
Yeah.
So some of the older video is really cool to see. The newer stuff is easy because everybody has phones and video cameras, but it's a shame we don't have anything from the 70s when he was in the band Head First. We have some audio, we have some music from live stuff, but there's not any, there's probably like 5 pictures.
So this project is taken from 16 to now.
Correct.
Yes.
So that's quite a long time.
Yeah. It is.
I know you did it part time.
Yeah, I mean, it was a side thing, when we both had time, and I had time to travel and time to work on it. And so I always work kind of in spurts, especially with the research. And then even COVID, you would have thought we would have more time to work on it, and really we didn't. And then
all the kids were home, so we were all at home during COVID.
So, for example, did you go and see Ted Nugent and get a live interview with him, or?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He lives here in Waco.
Well, I know. I just pulled that up.
Calvin Ross, who owns Lone Star Music, he's the one who sort of hooked us up with that interview, and we just met at his music store and set up, and it was a little quick.
He has a lot of respect for David Zychek.
Yeah. It was a very good interview. It was of all the interviews that we had done, it was the shortest, but it was just a really good interview.
Yeah. I think I've seen part of that on YouTube.
Yeah.
So tell us can you tell us who's in the video?
Sure. So we have, I think, 23 cast members, and a lot of local people. Calvin Ross, Ronnie Griffin, Sam Davis, and then we have, Vic Johnson, who plays with Sammy Hagar, Brett Tuggle, who played with David when he was in Head First in Colorado.
And you traveled to go do these interviews?
Yes.
Yeah. Wow. Instead of just doing a Zoom deal, or you chose to be there?
No, we wanted to look like a real documentary.
Well, that's what it is, yeah.
Ted Nugent, we mentioned. Kelly Keagy and Brett Gillis from Night Ranger. They are in the documentary.
Love Night Ranger.
Yeah. Of David's family, we have his brother and sister. Who
That's
agreed
awesome.
To be in it, yeah.
And
And our
you-
own daughter is in it.
Oh, your daughter's in it too?
Yeah.
What did she do?
She recorded with David when she was 9. Well,
Really?
She recorded with David a few times. He actually sang and played the egg shaker on her, one of the songs that she recorded. And so she has a little mention in there. She talks about him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Well, David Zychek, for those of you that don't really know who he is, and he's more of a, I mean, he's a
local legend.
He is a local legend, but he also played with some big time people.
Yeah.
But he was known. He's kind of got the reputation for being the Eddie Van Halen before there was Eddie Van Halen. That's what I've heard somebody say, and I agree. Do you feel the same way, to some degree?
Yeah, I mean, just from the people that talk about him before Eddie Van Halen was even, because David was, his first band was in the '60s when he was like 14 years old, and even back then he was playing in what I think Scott Zychek says teen clubs, in clubs that people thought you were good. I mean, people thought and he was the youngest, because all the other the band members were like in high school, and he was like in 7th or 8th grade, and he was already blowing other people away. So yeah, he was natural for sure. So by the time he got out of high school, I think he was really he was impressing people for sure.
And I think what really one of the reasons we didn't seek celebrities to be part of this, but it does add validation to our take on. We think he was amazing, but having people in the industry who have had a career really adds weight to it.
Oh yeah.
And even Brett Tuggle. So Brett Tuggle was a studio musician for hire. So he toured with Fleetwood Mac. He toured with Stevie Nicks. And he says in the documentary, I played with Steve Vai, I played with Jimmy Page, and I played with David Zychek. And he's as good, if not the best guitar player I've ever played with.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. What kind of person was David off the stage? Tell me something personal about him.
Very, very kind,
The
humble.
nicest person. Never talked bad about a person that I've ever heard, and we've heard other people have said this too. And in Waco, and a small town like this with a lot of musicians, you're always having somebody talking crap about somebody else, but he never. He was the nicest guy. If you go to a gig and he's up there setting up, and you want to go up there and talk to him, he'll take a second and he'll talk to you about whatever you want to talk about.
Really?
So,
The one fun fact about David, however, and it's not negative, but the one thing, and I think we're not the only one who thought that, but he was very, very good at, whether it was intentional or not, at compartmentalizing people. So, for example, some people did not know that he knew these people, and then so he was. You know what I mean? Like, he was really good
Yeah, he had a group of friends over here, and then you had a group of friends over here, and a group of friends over here, and
he was associated with a lot of people.
Yeah, but people didn't know about
people
each other.
didn't know. Like, I knew David,
So he didn't do name dropping. He
He wasn't a name dropper at all. So, I have this other YouTube channel show In the Shed, and we started that about 10 years ago, and with my friend Dave, and the reason I wanted to start it, or do this interview podcast show, was because I wanted to get David Zychek's story, because I'd always heard things, but he wasn't the kind of person to brag about. I didn't know what the Airborne story was. I didn't know that he knew all these musicians. Had no idea. But I wanted, but I'd heard bits and pieces, because he wasn't the kind of guy that would sit around and just talk about, oh yeah, I played with so and so back then. Oh yeah, this guy. We did music together. He was never like that.
Right.
So that was one of the reasons I wanted to do this.
So he's humble.
So this was 2015, so almost 10 years ago, and because I wanted to get his story down, and that sort of helped Anna do the research and pick pieces of that interview to use in the documentary. I thought I had a point to my story, but I guess
and then
No, you've made a point.
in my previous career, when I was working in higher education, I taught students with, learning disabilities, attention issues. So that must be ingrained in me when I was writing the documentary and what I was using. And I had the idea of actually, and it's also to kind of break the pace of getting, hearing a voice and seeing footage or video. I had the idea to use David's voice. So at a few times in the documentary, you'll see a black screen and David talking in the transcript of what he's saying. So it also breaks the, not that it's very interesting anyway, but, it just kind of helps.
As another element to the documentary.
Yeah. And you hear his voice.
That's cool.
And that's the...
Do you have a narrator for the...
We do.
Yeah.
Okay, now who...
Tell us.
Yeah.
So the narrator for... And we, obviously... My idea was to get an actor. I really wanted someone who had.
We wanted a name.
Well, yeah, and
sure.
Like for all documentaries, usually you have Meryl Streep narrating, or
yeah.
Or,
was she busy?
Yeah, exactly. Or
yeah, I know you're talking
Freeman.
about. Yeah.
What's his name?
Yeah.
African American actor, like very
Morgan Freeman.
Oh, Morgan Freeman, yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
our studio audience.
Oh, he's great. Yeah, we have a whole crowd here.
But that didn't work out, and I had contact with a particular actor that had ties to the local community, but that didn't work out for scheduling purposes. But we actually, he agreed. His name is Domingo Sonny Ortiz, and he's the percussionist for Widespread Panic. The band Widespread Panic, and he actually played with David.
That makes it even better.
Yeah, in the early 70s.
Yeah.
He's from Waco. And
so he's got a connection there.
Yeah.
Played with David in a band in the 70s.
And he agreed to do it, obviously, just very kind. And so we flew to Denver in June and recorded him in our hotel room in Denver while he was on tour with Widespread Panic.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
They were actually opening up for the Rolling Stones a few days after we were there.
And selling out Red
That
Rocks.
is so cool.
Yeah.
So you saw the Stones?
No, we came back.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. No, we literally flew down there, did the interview the next day,
and
flew back.
Well,
Yeah.
Yeah.
wow. So tell us about. We just did a podcast, so I'm getting the questions.
Yeah.
We might have covered this, we might not have, for those out there. But tell me about the event at the Hippodrome coming up in Waco, Texas. It's on. Go ahead.
So one of the things that when we first started, when we thought about showing it to the Waco community and his family, etc., we knew we wanted to do it at the Hippodrome for several reasons. First of all, it's a beautiful historical venue.
Oh, it's a cool venue.
It's beautiful. And also we wanted kind of that full circle moment because when David was playing with Nat Ranger on tour in 94, 95, they made a stop in Waco and played at the Hippodrome.
I did not remember that.
So we thought it would be kind of, like I said, like a full circle moment. So, and even Keagy in the documentary he remembers playing at the Hippodrome. He remembers Ted Nugent selling out the Hippodrome not too long before them. So, the event is on November 12th. Doors open at 6, and the show starts at 7. And tickets are $20.
Get them online?
Yep.
Yeah, just Google Waco Hippodrome. I think it's
And
WacoHippodromeTheater.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a red carpet?
There will be a red carpet.
So this is a big deal.
To me.
It's a premiere, absolutely.
And to Carrie.
Well, tell me about the red carpet, and afterwards it's the backyard.
Yes. So the Brian Brown, who also is in the documentary, who is co-owner of the backyard here in Waco, agreed to.
Is that the guy with Sloppy Joe?
Yes.
Yeah.
Singer
Okay.
Sloppy Joe,
Yeah.
He agreed to host the after party at the backyard.
He's really good.
He's great. And then my idea was to trying to put a set together with kind of a soundtrack of the film live, and have people from the cast get up on stage and play together. So there will be a set of 11 to 12 songs with people from the cast and also musicians from Waco who are going to be playing as well.
Is Ted playing, or do you know?
Hopefully.
TBD, yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah, he's invited. Hopefully he
Yeah.
can make it.
So who will be 10? Okay. We covered that. We'll edit this part out.
This is the best part.
I heard a room. Yeah, well, that's true. Because
Keep it down. Our studio audience is getting loud over
Yeah,
here.
we'll be with you in a minute.
Yeah.
I heard from a rumor that your film has been invited overseas to England at a festival.
Correct.
Is that correct?
It is correct.
What an honor that is.
Very exciting. So
And when is that going to be, or do you know?
We don't know the exact date yet, but it's a film festival called Dock and Roll. So it's
Dock and
fitting.
Roll.
Dock and Roll, and they really liked our film and invited us to do a London premiere in
Wow.
the spring. So we don't know the date yet, but
That is way cool.
yeah, and we will be going.
Yes, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you hope to show this video in other places other than Waco, or is this a one-time deal?
Well, we actually, funny you say that. We just have been invited to premiere it. To screen it at Belmont University in Nashville, Tennessee. Sorry.
Oh,
Can we edit
really?
That out. Yeah.
We could,
Yeah, in Nashville. Belmont
Awesome.
is very well known for its music program and good. I mean, they're big in the industry over there, so they invited us to screen it.
that is super.
Belmont.
And there could be some other showings locally after the big one, the big premiere. We haven't thought that far ahead yet. I mean, we've been concentrating on this
Sure.
for the past.
By the way, that's a cool.
Yeah.
Is that the poster of the video?
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Yeah.
good. Tell me about the artist real quick.
Gil Schuler,
Yeah.
right? Is that his name?
Yes.
Yeah.
I edited that part out.
Yeah. They mean to put you on the
Yeah,
spot.
Gil is actually a really, really good friend with Dave, who does In the Shed with Troy.
See, I think that's even. Yeah.
That's the
Yeah,
hook
yeah,
up there.
yeah. And he's a great artist.
And that we actually, that's one of the first things that we have done was the poster.
Yeah.
So,
I think the poster was done probably 2017.
yeah,
maybe?
one of the first things
Yeah.
we've done. But
Really?
it's
Yeah.
been a great marketing tool because people just love it.
Oh, yeah.
And it just looks so good. So
Absolutely, it does. So, do you remember where you were when you heard he passed away?
Yeah, I was at work.
You was at work.
Yeah, I
He
kinda-
had been sick for a while, right?
Yeah.
Well, he had
Yeah.
an illness.
He had cancer.
Yeah.
And I don't remember exactly.
So you were. It was expected.
Troy told me that's how I found out.
Yeah. That's how you found out.
Yeah, Troy called me to let me know. Yeah.
But
yeah,
you,
I was at work and I just left work. I
Oh.
went home. Yeah, it's pretty tough.
Yeah, I bet it was.
Yeah.
But what an awesome thing y'all have done for him.
Thank you.
I mean, this is a great tribute. You should be very proud.
We are very proud, and I'm very proud of her because she did the legwork. I mean, she spent over 3 months, 8, 10, 12 hours a day researching, writing the script, listening to the interviews over and over, moving,
Yeah.
And then I came in at the end and we sat down and
You did all the editing, right?
well, she helped me. No, I mean,
Oh,
we
she
did it,
edits too?
Yeah, I mean, I do the editing, but she tells me what goes where.
Yeah, she's the boss.
Well, I mean, it's
What a good team.
teamwork. Yeah, it's teamwork.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
I can't wait to see it. This is going to be cool.
Yeah,
It's about 2 hours long.
Yeah.
2 hours long. Yeah, a lot of great music in it, a lot of great interviews.
Funny
a lot
moments.
A lot of ups and downs, funny moments, serious
Are
moments.
you in the video?
No, I'm not in the video, no.
What the heck?
Well, there's you. You're playing.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you-
see him with long
you'll
hair.
see me with long
Oh,
hair.
so-
There is a little clip from when we were in the studio, I think in 2005, my band. We had this little, we called it, because my band was called Color of Darkness at the time. So a friend of mine shot some video of us in the studio with us talking to David. And so we called it, instead of documentary, it's a darkumentary.
A documentary,
That's
okay.
that's on YouTube. So, but we used a couple of clips from that in the documentary. There's a cool little part where David's in the control room and he's talking. You can hear him talking.
Oh,
He's
cool.
Telling the cameraman.
What do you, yeah.
Yeah. So, and there's a couple of shots of my brother playing drums and me playing guitar.
Oh, so you're
Wait a
in.
minute, I kind of forgot about that. That
Yeah.
doesn't look like me anymore.
It doesn't?
Yeah, I know. My hair was long and I had a goatee.
All right, it's time. We're approaching the end of our show, our interview. At the end of every interview that I do, I always have a fun five.
Yes.
I call it the Fun Fast Five.
Okay.
And it's 5 fun questions that I ask you. I think you've cheated. You might have seen them. But anyway.
I didn't look at him. She looked at
Okay.
him. No,
Are you ready to play?
Yes.
So both of y'all want answers from both of y'all. Number one, who is your favorite music entertainer?
Who's going first?
Well, I'm going to answer for you because.
Are you going to answer for me?
Well,
we have to answer for each
we have
other?
the
No,
same
no.
one,
You
though.
answer for yourself.
Oh, because it'd be more fun if we had to answer for each
Well,
other.
you can do it the way you want to. Okay.
What's
Tom
that?
Petty.
Yeah.
Tom Petty's both yours?
That's mine for sure.
Oh, okay.
I was going to say, she was on Saturday Night Live last night.
Stevie Nicks.
I was gonna say Stevie Nicks
Yeah,
for you,
that's.
but Tom Petty. Tom Petty is the greatest musical mind of any generation.
Okay.
In my opinion.
And yours is Stevie?
I love Stevie Nicks and I love Fleetwood Mac. So, and actually, going back to the documentary, we did Brett Tuggle's interview in Denver when he was touring with Lindsey Buckingham and Kristen McVie.
Are they in the video?
No, sadly not.
No,
but we were
never met
interviewing
him.
Brett Tuggle, and I look up to my right and I see Lindsey Buckingham walk into the lobby of the Ritz-Carlton in Denver with his Subway sandwich. And I was,
You're kidding? Really?
oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, what a moment.
But we
Yeah.
never got to meet him though.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, number 2. Which person in the documentary were you most pleased to meet?
Oh, they're all going to be mad if they were.
Yeah, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay.
They were all great,
They were all great.
but
I will tell you, I was going to say one touched me more than, it doesn't sound right.
that's okay.
They didn't touch me.
Lay it on us.
But I did truly, genuinely love Ted Nugent's interview
Yep.
because it was
He
authentic.
turned it off.
It was authentic, and honestly, I didn't know what to expect. And then the one that, I mean, there's so many great ones, but we do love. I mean, I
Yeah.
love meeting Brett Tuggle.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure.
Very,
Yeah.
very nice man. His daughter is actually, he passed away since, so his daughter is coming to the
Oh,
premiere.
even better.
Yeah.
What about you?
Probably Brett.
Okay.
Yeah, super nice guy. One of the nicest guys. It's crazy how many people in the music industry that we've met like that. They're not superstars, but they've made a career. You know, like Vic Johnson playing in Sammy Hagar's. Man, they're all just the nicest guys
Yeah.
in the world. You know,
Yep.
Kirk Tatum, which we talked to
Oh, yeah.
last night. He was in a band, Deep Blue something. Wrote a song for Deborah Jones and David. Just the nicest guy. We talked to him like 45 minutes last night on the phone.
They're just people.
He
You
goes,
know that
whatever
song,
you want to
Breakfast
do.
at Tiffany?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's great.
He goes, whatever you need from me, I'll do it. And you know,
That's cool.
Yeah, yeah.
So, all right, number 4 or number 3. No, what number are we on? Number 3.
We're number 3.
All right, here we go. What surprised you the most regarding the documentary?
I think the people we met and where it took us, because really we had no idea. We had no
I mean, you
idea.
started here and
We started here,
but
and
you just grew.
and we're like, oh, we got to go here now. We got to go here. Yeah, it's and I want to give some of that thanks to David Prater because he always sort of pushed us to think bigger and
Well, that's
think
what you've
beyond
done.
Waco.
Think big. Think
Yes.
big. Yeah.
He's always been a pusher that way for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, to me, I was really hard on myself for so long because people kept asking, when is it going to be done? When is it going to be done? You have a momentum, you know. And I did feel bad about not working fast enough. But again, we had a full-time job and 3 kids. And
And you're
No money.
perfectionist.
Yeah.
And no money.
Yeah,
and
financially, it's
nobody
not-
helped us.
yeah.
I mean, we'll never make the money back that we spent
Yeah.
on this thing, traveling to Colorado.
You don't know that. I mean, it might
Yeah.
be big.
but
Start selling them on that
You
line.
could, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point,
But you didn't do it
And
for
we don't even care
But
about
you didn't
it.
do it for the money.
not at all.
But the point, what I was going to say is, now looking back, I'm so glad that I did not finish this documentary in 2020, 2021, whatever, because it would have looked very different than it does now. So there's a reason
Yeah,
why
there's
it
a
took
reason.
so long.
And it
a
would-
lot of the things that I thought I was gonna use or touch on, I don't. So it's
And it would have been more complicated because we used when you edit something like this and you don't necessarily have a voiceover or a person do the voiceover yet, you have to have a voiceover to edit to. You can't just edit to nothing.
Right.
You have to have. And I was like, well, how are we going? When we first, how are we going to do this? Am I going to do the voiceover just to have sort of a scratch track?
Right.
We used AI to do the voiceover.
Really?
yeah, technology that didn't.
Well, you didn't have that back.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we were able to take the script, copy and paste it into this website that does AI voiceovers, and you pick your voiceover, and there's like so many voiceovers, and then you
That's amazing. That's
download
amazing.
the audio and you lay it down, and it gives you something to edit to.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And we loved, what's crazy, we actually
We
we
liked the
loved
guy.
the
The
guy's
AI?
voice.
Well, you should have kept it.
I know. Wish.
But there's a good connection with the one
Yeah,
that
yeah,
did
yeah,
it.
yeah. We wanted a human voice.
Are you ready for number 4? What
Let's
is
do
your
it.
favorite meal to have?
Meal?
Meal.
Oh, I mean Mexican food, of course.
Mexican, okay.
Or
Mexican.
barbecue ribs.
Yeah,
Okay,
Mexican
can't
food.
go wrong with either one of those.
Mexican food.
I'll let her pick Mexican food, and I'll pick.
But you're from France. They have Mexican food in France?
No.
I didn't think so.
No.
Yeah.
So once in a while, you'll have the Mexican week in the grocery store, and you get a couple El Paso products. But
Oh,
that's,
that's it, huh?
that's it.
All right, last and final question. What is your most memorable concert you've ever attended?
Oh, I've attended a lot. So quickly, when
You can name me a couple.
when I was in France, I was terrible in English. So my parents would send me to spend the summer in the U.S., whether it's a family or summer school. And I attended the University of Tennessee, Knoxville.
Wow, volunteers.
Yes, and go Vols. And then that summer, Lollapalooza came through. So I went to Lollapalooza, and I saw the lineup was Soundgarden, Rage Against the Machine, the Ramones, Metallica.
Sounds like a Texas jam.
It was great, but I would say my favorite concert, it's not Stevie Nicks, but it was Pearl Jam last year in
Jam.
Austin.
Okay.
We loved it.
that was incredible.
Yeah, we loved it.
Because I was, she saw that there was, hey, Pearl Jam's playing in Austin. You want to go? I'm like, yeah, sure. So she bought the tickets. And I was thinking, well, these guys have been playing for 25, 30 years. They're gonna phone it in.
And they
freaking jammed. They were awesome. I was impressed.
So is that yours too? Your favorite one?
I mean, well, yeah, that I can remember.
Okay.
Well, we
Because
had,
most I can't remember. So
Yeah.
I assumed I had.
and Tom Petty was fun. Tom Petty.
I don't remember the Tom Petty concert.
When I was pregnant.
And that's one of your idols.
I love Tom Petty.
And you don't remember the
we
show?
We saw him twice. Well, it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
We were probably, whatever.
Yeah.
I was pregnant.
She was
so
pregnant.
Okay.
I remember it.
Don't
well.
tell on yourself. You've done real good.
Yeah, we had really good seats too in that one.
Yeah.
Cool.
And yeah, it was wonderful.
But I wish here's a regret. So his last tour when he was in Austin,
He was sick.
I had an opportunity to go see that show, but it was on a school night, and
You just
she didn't want to go. I think our son
Lennon was a baby.
Lennon was a baby.
Yeah.
My son was a baby. So I asked my friend Dave, hey, you want to go? And he was like, oh, I don't know. I got work tomorrow. So we were both like, not really.
We'll catch him on the next tour.
Yeah, we'll catch him on the next tour. Well, there never was a next tour. And
Well-
I do regret that.
sure.
Yeah.
Well, you didn't know. That's hindsight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I love Tom.
But you did see it, yeah. Free falling. Well, thank you both for coming on the show.
Thank you.
And spending some time with us. Y'all are unbelievable people.
Thank you.
And I value your friendship, and I can't wait for this to happen, and I hope this is really good for you guys.
Thanks.
So, and it's a great tribute what you've done.
We're proud of it, and we can't wait for people to see it. I mean, we always get excited when we show, because we've had a couple of what do you call it?
Focus group?
Focus groups come over to the house and watch it, and everybody seems to love it. And
Oh.
it's they usually get very emotional. November 12th, let's say this real quick.
Yeah,
November
do it again.
12th, November 12th at the Hippodrome downtown
2024.
Yeah. Yeah.
2024.
This year.
Yeah. So if you see this 10
So,
years from now,
Afraid, don't go.
it's probably on YouTube
Yeah.
by this time.
It's not going to be playing.
Yeah.
But
November 12th, doors open at 6, Hippodrome, downtown Waco. You can get your tickets at
Waco
Hippodrome
and Backyard Grill afterwards.
We're
Yep.
doing the Backyard Jam
And
afterwards.
it's free. You
It's
can.
free. You
Oh,
just
is
pay
it?
for that.
Yes.
Oh, the backyard's free?
The
Yeah,
backyard's
no
free.
cover at the backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chris and Russ are going to pick up everybody's tab?
Well, I mean, the drinks are not free. The drinks are not free.
They'll believe me, they'll make it up. That's awesome. Thank you all again for your show,
Thank
for
you.
coming on. And again, great honor for David Zychek. So you should be very proud.
Thanks.
Stay tuned to the Tony Pruitt Show for more legendary interviews. Until next time, may God bless you richly.